Incoming transmission.
GSL Season 1.
Live from the Freak Up Studio 2026 GSL Season 1. Now we're going to have finals. Now this is a very long time, and I'm Lee and Juan. It's been 15 years. And it's been a long time back in esports, because I was like casting traditional sports and back here and feeling the heat here is actually very good. I have a really good synergy with all the heat and all the support from the fans here. And you guys watched the semifinals. Have you enjoyed it? Yep. I'm also anticipating the finals. And SHIN and herO. Whichever who wins, there's going to be a new chapter in history of GSL, and you're going to witness it. Now, we're going to have one guest, special guest, our CEO, Kevin, who's going to shine the stage. Now, my producer said actually last GSL finals was and like to practice it, and you ever show up and shine it, and you every show the love in every GSL. So how do you do it? Well, because I love this game, because I love GSL. Now herO and actually played within your corporation, the Africa Freaks. So like, how do you feel? Yeah, he did. He's actually very good, and it's more impressive that he's actually better after he was discharged from the military. And I also saw like SHIN playing, and like I was also mesmerized by his plays. Like he was so on edge. And it's gonna be his first win if he ever gets a trophy. So I'm really pumped. Now, Season 1 is happening right now, and everyone is here that GSL wants to continue to GSL Season 2, Season 3, and any bumps to fans. Well, yeah, it's all because of you guys, the fans, that prolongs all the history of the GSL. So thank you, and thank you for the sponsors, Intel as well. Yeah, so well, we're gonna have one starting sign, just to let you go. All right. All right, we're gonna start the 2026 GSL Season 1 finals right now.
It begins, guys. We're finally here. The GSL Season 1 finals in 2026. Could not ask for a cooler finals here. I think we're going to be doing the player call-outs here.
I think we're going to be coming on the stage in just a minute, but what a player lineup we've got.
Quiet, shh, quiet. Okay, now we got to intro one of them, but I don't know which one's going to. I'm going to bet it's going to be the Protoss players. I'm going to go with that. You messed it up,
damn it.
Tasteless. It's the Zerg. It's a Zerg player.
Oh, is it?
Oh, no, but maybe it's the Protoss player instead.
We just told
He goes back to the Zerg. Nope, it's the Zerg. that someone is going to win that trophy, guys. The question is who? What an unusual finals we've got here. One player that you basically never expect to have in a GSL finals. The other, he's been here many times before. He's had an amazing year in 2025. By the way, I think it is going to be the Protoss player.
Is it because it just said Protoss on the screen? Tasteless?
Right. It says herO. I think that means it's a Zerg player. No, wait. Oh, no. Okay. herO coming out now. This guy has played phenomenally. He's always marched to his own beat. Really reshaped the meta so many times before. I think many people are going to consider him the favorite, but who knows? This is going to be a best of 7, by the way. This guy's got a big range of play styles. But first, he's got to get through. Okay, now I know who this one is. I know who this one is, State. It's another Protoss player, right?
SHIN gonna be coming out in just a moment.
Yes.
Honestly, what a sick finals lineup that we've got.
He's finally here, back in the finals, and he just beat his nemesis, the guy that stopped him from basically getting through countless GSLs before. Maru has fallen and SHIN has taken his place. And I just, judging from the sounds in the audience, I think he is the fan favorite. If he wins here, it will be making history. He's got to be exhausted, though, after going up against Maru and beating him in an arduous best of 5, winning 3-2. Can he do it now in a best of 7 against possibly the greatest Protoss in the world right now?
Can't help but cheer for SHIN. Heroic victory over Maru, that final game. And in a moment, we're going to hear from the players.
Yep, we're going to have an interview. Yeah, for casting, well, all 4 players, I couldn't even predict anything. Like, how did you feel? Well, like when I get to beat like really big players like herO and Maru, like herO Clem, like I kind of felt the fact that, oh, this is the day that I win. So yeah, I had that feeling today. So you were confident? Well, in the first game, like, I kind of saw that Maru, like, the player like Maru actually slips up that that command center. So yeah, I thought like this is the time. Yeah, so like considering the fact like you guys are having a lot of series, but like you are actually very, very underdog on the matchup, and it was like predictions were 80-20. But you were against the odds, but you actually beat it. So how did you manage to do it? Well, I think at this rate, I didn't really think that I'm not the underdog here. So I just tried to win because I was confident that I'm on the top right now. I'm on the top level right now. So yeah, I definitely wanted to do it, and yeah, glad I made it. Yeah, you showed a great game, herO, as well against Cure. Yeah, look. So how do you feel after the game? Well, I'm very grateful and I'm very glad that I made it to the finals, and definitely want to end it with the trophy. Yeah, like Kevin also said, you're after the military, after the marriage, you actually pumped up, like even if you're your age. So yeah, like you age a lot after all those years, but still you keep getting better and better. So yeah, what's the secret about that? How do you make that results? Well, it's not that far. It's right here. Oh, you're talking about your wife here. Ah. Yeah, it's like, well, is he actually a family man? Oh, well, his wife says no. Yeah, well, yeah, so I'll try to break the ice here. So, let's get down to business. So now the opponent is herO. How do you feel? Do you feel that you could beat him? Your genuine feeling right now. Well, I beat Maru, so yeah, there's no opponent I can't beat right now. No opponent can't beat right now. Wow. Right next to you. He said it right next to you. So herO, deep down, if you get to the finals, I would say like you're gonna like. Did you think that you're gonna do another PVT? Well, actually, you know, deep down, I kind of felt that like I get a free win, but seeing the SHIN's play, actually, I need to be. He was so on edge and he was so sharp, so I thought like I should be cautious. Well, so how do you feel about herO? Well, I mean, he's a great player, and I respect him so much. So even if I lose, I think I can congratulate him. Well, you're saying really soft. Then how about you, herO? Can you congratulate? Well, I would definitely say CJ Entis actually definitely gained a good rookie. So yeah, raised a good rookie, and I would congratulate him as a fellow former teammate of CJ Entis. Yeah, so it's a best of 7. So what do you think about the score? Well, I'm kind of really nervous right now. Well, you don't seem so, but still, yeah, I'm very nervous. So I think I will go all the way, like 4-3. Then SHIN, what do you think? Well, then I'm gonna be for fun. I'm gonna be 4-0. I'm gonna beat him 4-0. Well, I respect him as a respected brother. I mean, a revered brother. I like him, but still. 4-0, SHIN wins. Well, as a senior, I think you'll get a fighting chance. Well, you learned a lot from CJ Entis, so not a good mindset, but still, yeah, I'll beat you, man. Yeah. All right, we figured out about their predicted score, and let's see how it pans out. Now, the game is all ready. Now all we need is your applause. 2026 GSL Season 1 Finals. We're gonna go right into it.
GSL Season 1 Finals.
Thank you for the translation, Maddox. Excellent work as always. Guys, we're ready to go into the finals here. A best of 7 with herO versus SHIN. An unexpected victory just a little bit ago. Maru actually being defeated in what was an epic 3-2. We thought it was going to be a 3-0 and Maru just advances. Not the case at all. And so here we are, a PVZ to decide who will be the champion of Season 1 in 2026 for the GSL.
I know if we look at the legacy of the Void match history between these two, herO just seems like the overwhelming favorite, but SHIN just played one of the best semifinals in GSL I think I have ever seen. I mean, what a treat to finally take down Maru after 33 series to win the 34th one. I think SHIN's gonna be feeling great. I think he's got all the momentum behind him. I'm excited for this match.
Yeah, this is going to be fun. I do hope stamina is going to be SHIN's strong suit, because even though I think he's, you beat Maru, you can beat anybody. That is the truth. But, I mean, a long series like that, and it's not like herO had to work, but, the way the format of the tournament works, the guy that won first does have a break, right? And I don't think that his series was nearly as exhausting as the SHIN Maru series, truth be told.
SHIN Maru was, and that was a grudge match. So much attrition, epically long series, whereas herO Kira, it did go to a game number 4, but the games I felt like they were over relatively quick. They're all quite unique styles deployed by herO. Different measure of responses there by Kira. Since then, hero's had quite a bit of time to rest and recover, whereas, you know, SHIN going up against Maru's exhaust play has to be the most fatiguing style of play to try and go up against. So hopefully, the 15 minutes that we've had between the semifinals and now the finals, SHIN will be ready, and he can ride the wave of the momentum of victory.
Yeah, this is going to be an interesting match. PvZ is generally a long matchup in the current meta. Protoss can really turtle, but herO tends to make it shorter than the average Protoss player. herO likes to push, he likes to aggress and kind of get in your opponent's face, and you know, he's got a lot of tricky styles coming up here, so I expect to see a lot of different approaches here from herO. I'm curious how committed SHIN will be to you know, playing a macro game as well. He does like to come in and do some aggro approaches, so this should be a pretty fun series with a variety of different styles coming out from both sides. I would expect a lot of very different looking PvZs up ahead.
That's two very aggressive players going ahead now in the GSL Finals, as map number 1 on Winter Madness is set to begin. The GSL Finals starts now.
Okay, down here in the bottom right in the blue, herO. I think the favorite here in this finals. And his fans cheering for him now in the audience. And in the top left in the red, winning in an incredible underdog story versus Maru, is SHIN. A lot of people cheering for him as well. I'm sure a lot of people at home very excited by the finals that we have here. Not, I guess what you'd say is your formulaic GSL, right? Not a bracket you look at and you go, oh, I've kind of seen this before. And you know where it's going to go from there. So this is going to be fun. I think it is going to be close. I think SHIN is playing better than he's ever played in the history of his career. And now he's won best of 7 from getting what is every pro gamer's dream, to win a GSL. And we've had players that have been here with us since the beginning who have won, and we've had others who have not. And SHIN right now is one of those have-nots, but if he can do it here tonight, history will be updated. Been watching GSL since you had hair. Glad you're still here. 16 more years, hell yeah.
Oh, I love that. It's shaping up to be an excellent match. This GSL Finals. I mean, SHIN was just a historic run there through the semifinals, and now he's going up against the best Protoss player in the world.
You know, SHIN got through his group first, by the way. That was another interesting moment back there where I thought, oh, wow, okay. He's looking really good. And then, you know, he comes into the round of 4 here and then beats Maru. It's like, oh, wow, okay. Like, I'm not even sure I've calibrated as someone who's casting your games to how strong of a player you are.
SHIN's always been good, but I feel like, especially in ZVP, the meta really favors SHIN's style of Zerg, because the Zergs that we're seeing find success in this matchup, it's those that play very aggressively and sometimes quirky styles, especially in the mid game. Like Rogue comes to mind, for instance. He might not be the most gifted macro player now in this stage of his career, but he is absolutely capable of throwing some curveballs, of going for unorthodox builds and making the game messy, and then just winning through attrition versus the Protoss player. And I feel like that's really where Zerg players have to find their strength. And historically, this has been SHIN's strength. He's an excellent mid-game Zerg player. He loves to get aggressive. He loves to bring the fight to the Protoss. And that is the way that you find success right now as Zerg.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, we should probably see a pretty big range of different PvZ types from herO. The Lings are going to come in here right now. I love the split, by the way, from SHIN. This is exactly what you want to do, is basically interrupt both the mining probes. He takes one out, by the way. This is, like, pretty bad, if not unacceptable.
Well, does herO not know? I don't think he knew. I don't think he quite realized exactly what was happening.
Okay, that's insane, dude. 4 worker kills at the start. That's so bad that we don't even ever see that ever. Off of, but what is, 4 lings is like nothing to, I guess, get excited about early on, right? Like, that's not even like you took a risk. herO is going to kill the Overlord because he can spot. We did have more lings. He did catch the Adept. Dude, SHIN is on fire.
Yeah, herO's going to try and throw it on the third base. The Oracle is at home, ready to defend this. We're going to get us around on the Stalker,
what
though.
Is
the
going
Oracle
on in this
cannot
series?
take this down fast enough. The Stalker falls. Just feels like SHIN's night.
herO is like, I mean, there are so many fails happening here back to back. I can't believe this is game 1 of our finals. This is wild.
This looks like one of my games.
This is all too familiar. This is what happens when I play the game. No, but it's crazy how much damage is being taken here.
Oh, no. I'm watching the minimap. Are those links and getting to the natural expansion? No, they're going to the third base instead.
SHIN
I'm
deflects.
just racing for the worst right now with herO. This early game has been abysmal. Oracle's now finding no damage yet here. He could tank this Spore Crawler for a little bit of damage and get 1 or 2 drones, but instead it seems like herO going to be prioritizing the HP on these Oracles. Well defended by SHIN. The fact these 2 Oracles have gotten no damage done yet,
Yeah.
is quite significant.
He's going to shut down the... What is happening here, man? Like, nothing is working at all. And normally, we would see a couple of workers killed. By the way, he's going to go into Adept Glaives. No, he cancels and goes into Blink. But Glaives had started.
A bit of indecision here by herO. Going for Blink and Forge now. And I imagine with the 6 Adepts that herO has got, he's going to group up here at the third base and just shade these across the map because he needs to find some way to trade these out. And with no Glaives, trading them out the sooner the better here. Likely going to be pairing up these Adepts with the Oracles in just a moment. And for herO's sake, I hope that he's able to find a little bit of damage because SHIN has just been taking every single win in the early game so far in this map.
Okay, so now we've got a little bit of Adept pressure here. And, I'm glad he didn't go for the Glaive Adepts because I think that would have failed. I think herO would be out. I don't think you can take too many losses this early on and then try to do some kind of a sharp timing attack. A lot of times, those Adept Glaives, it's like hinged on killing just enough drones that you can follow up with the next attack and end the game there. SHIN basically not missing a beat. He seems to have flowed right through the first best of 5 into this next game, looking amazing. He's sending all the queens. He's sending lings and roaches. He's going to do an all-in timing attack. And State, I feel like this is going to work.
I don't think herO knows this is happening, and herO just spent all of the energy on his only 2 Oracles dropping Stasis Wards in the main base and the natural expansion, and now he sees the Queens.
Peekaboo.
These Oracles are effectively useless. SHIN already gets a full surround on the Adepts. The force field's a little bit too late. The Lings still getting the damage done. Shield battery running out of energy. More Warpins coming here for herO, but it's a bad start to the defense.
Now, he dove in a little bit far. I think herO took a lot of damage there. And so, now we really got to see if herO can hang on. The Queens, are here for the transfuses. Oh, he doesn't transfuse that one, though. He throws down the creep tumors.
And now the attack is really starting. Lings, Roaches, and Ravagers flooding in. Queens getting some damage done on the back line as well.
God. I think this is over. I mean, there's nothing here that can defend. The Stalkers don't even have anywhere to really blink to or take cover to.
Having no range on the Oracle means the Lings can get right up on those Stalkers. The third base is going to be falling here for herO in just a minute. But honestly, I don't even know if he can defend the natural expansion at this rate. SHIN's already beginning the transition. A Hydralisk Den just started behind all of this. But the army that SHIN has on the front lines might just be enough to knock herO out of the game already.
Yeah, I mean, he just nukes that Nexus. And, I mean, do you keep going, I guess is the question. He's going to continue to morph Ravagers, which is an indicator that he is committed to the role that he's taken on this game to be the aggressor. Again, some of these Ravagers kind of morphing a little bit too close for comfort. Of course, they do heal up when they finish with that, so he's got to blink back there. By the way, the Cybernetics core is a pretty juicy target. You take that out, they can't make Stalkers, right? And Zealots are not going to be helpful right now. So I would not be shocked. Yeah, here we go. He's going to just try to hit that. That's kind of the Achilles heel. What starts out as an early game wall-in to keep you safe turns into this, weak point later on that really can't be defended and is going to shut down all the tech. Now, he went for charge, so if you do make Zealots, they're going to be much more viable right now.
Storm transition also coming in here for herO. I think he's just preempting the Cybernetics core getting taken down. He knows that this is really just a matter of time. So he's gotten all the stalkers that he needs already. I would be surprised, given herO's on 2 bases, if we had the Cybernetics core replaced right away. I think instead you just spend that money on Zealots and on Templar.
I think he wants to try to swing this back into his favor. And you know when you, oh wow, he takes another hit there on the stalkers. Some of the shields are really dissipating here. Are there more units rallying down here? I feel like we don't, oh, he's got stasis wards on the map. So the whole map is booby-trapped. We're getting to the point where there's more stalkers than there are queens and ravagers. By the way, the queens can't really get back home. That's one of the problems with this. Is, you know, when you commit to this, herO's so good. And he's going to clean up all this creep. Is there still the possibility of a counter push?
I think it's the only possibility here for herO. I don't think you can re-expand, especially with a creep. I think you just isolate this army and you try to win it. The good thing for herO is that the army that SHIN has been transitioning into, it's going to be Zergling Hydra, which is very low HP. Storm should be excellent against this, but SHIN going for a big counterattack. Keep in mind that Cybernetics core was never rebuilt. SHIN's going to find Templar reinforcing.
No.
And the front door is wide open.
Yeah, that core that was taken out, it was never plugged back up. This is insane. Well, I think SHIN's just going to back away. He knows that he can kind of lose this space for the time being and kill all the workers off in the main here for herO. All he has to do is flatten this attack.
There still is a chance for herO. herO is a very powerful army in front of SHIN's base. I think herO actually blinked forward, and now he's getting surrounded on both sides. The storms are good on the ramp, but the Hydra's taking so much damage. Another blink forward, trying to isolate small sections of these Hydralisks now. The main is overrun. Zealot's being warped in to try and deal with them, but that SHIN just has enough to hold.
I think SHIN wins his first game. The main is in shambles. The economy is grinded down to a halt. And, you know, the counterplay from SHIN, he's still on 3 base versus a barely functional 2 base player.
The main is completely empty.
I keep thinking we're going to come back and they're gone, and it's like, no, they're still here doing damage. They're finally going to get cleaned up. We're talking about a Protoss on 23 probes. And, you know, look, SHIN lost a base. I didn't even realize this creep was really still out here on the level and scope that it is. Which, by the way, means if Zerg attacks in here, these Lings and Hydras are going to be super fast. Now, there is this sort of creep desert in the middle here where you don't have the ability to move on that. The creep was never fully connected because this creep was part of the all-in earlier. I just think that the numbers are too strong here. You know, even with really good storms, I don't think there's enough stalkers and zealots to actually fight this effectively. Of course, these are storms that linger a little bit longer. The Zerg's going to wrap around to the side here and get on the creep. That's going to make storming a lot harder to do. There are roaches being made here as well.
herO just trying to recharge for one more push. It's really all he's got. Up to 31 workers now, saturating the main and the natural expansion. I mean, SHIN, he's still up on 3 bases. He's retaking the 4th. He now has a soft contain here. He's inside of the natural expansion of herO.
He's basically just able to kind of drain these storms and reposition and attack again. These are 2 gateways that are not going to be able to warp in, by the way. It's not just a wall. He's going to come in again. Again, there's a lot of storms here. He's continuing to just kind of sidestep the storms, push through. I can't quite tell how many more storms are available. It looks like 2 or 3.
There's 11 Templar, so I imagine there's going to be quite a few more storms.
Yeah, some have energy, some don't. herO, if he doesn't hold this, he dies. The 4th base is up. Zerg is nearly maxed out.
herO can hardly even break out of his own natural.
Yeah, the problem is that there's so much more coming down here. And, you know, it's not even about surviving this attack. You have to actually push out here and try to get a 3rd base up. And you can see there's not a ton of minerals left. This game's actually, it feels like it's short. It's been going on for a while. It's 13 minutes. The roaches can come in here. Now, they're a little bit tankier, so the zealots can't quite overwhelm this. The hydras can still stay in the back. We've got ravagers coming down now as well. herO's fighting pretty well. The Archons over here on the side doing a little bit of damage, not quite picked off.
At the moment the storms dissipate, there just will not be enough for herO. The Archons warping in right now. More reinforcements streaming in for SHIN. And SHIN's taking a very cost-inefficient trade, but he just knows his position is so favored right now. You might as well throw this army into the meat grinder because mean, you're back at home sitting on 4 bases.
GG. herO taps out. Beautiful start here. SHIN winning game 1. And I got to say, you know, the stealth move across the map, herO was, you know, I think what happened was herO lost. By the way, let's rewind fully here. What a weird start to that game. He lost, like, workers at the start, 4 workers. He lost adepts. The Oracles didn't do anything. And I think what happened is herO turned it up to 11 and ripped off the knob and said, I'm going to start stunning workers. I'm going to try to come back in here. I'm going to try to snipe workers with the Oracles. And then just ignored the middle of the map. And when SHIN saw the third base, he just went, oh, well, I already did so much damage to you. I'm just going to try to all in here. And that's exactly what happened. And even though herO survived that, he had took too much damage. I mean, especially when the probes countered there into the main, there was nothing he could do. So we're going to go on to White Rabbit here for game number 2.
Yeah, the first 7 or 8 minutes are the most crucial ones, in PBZ especially. It is such a momentum-based matchup about whether the Protoss players are able to get good damage done, get their third base set up on time, or in particular, if Zerg is able to get some damage done. It spirals out of control, and herO just fell behind a little bit too quickly to overcome. SHIN capitalizing, took the win, and is now leading the series 1-0 in this best of 7. 3 map wins away from lifting the GSL trophy as we head into White Rabbit for map number 2.
State's favorite color of rabbit.
GSL Season 1.
I mean, the Easter Bunny's a White Rabbit, isn't it? That's the one that gives us candy.
I would assume so. That is the best rabbit, by the way.
It's just the best rabbit.
It is the best rabbit color. The Trix rabbit is also white, so that's.
Oh, is it? That's right.
So, and that gives us our cereal. So, I mean,
I can't have it
it's
anymore.
everything
I'm not
we
a
need.
kid.
I know. You were trying to go back and eat like cereal for kids. You're like, oh, this is so unhealthy. How is anybody allowed to eat this? Okay. So we're going to go into this game immediately. A pro block here to start. That'll prompt SHIN to go down. Oh, never mind. Okay. He actually doesn't force. Did herO back off too soon? What happened back there? That was funny.
I think SHIN might have juked him a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that he faked out herO and then ended up expanding right where he wanted to go, which is kind of funny. And so now, is that MMA?
I think it is.
It is MMA. Oh my gosh, everybody's so much older here. LA loves GSL. GSL loves LA. Welcome.
MMA probably saw that command center go down to Zerglings. Like, oh, I've had a similar moment before.
That PTSD right there. Yeah, that was you know, it happened so fast. I'm not sure what the interaction was, but the pro blocked the natural. It cut to where the third base was going to be taken, and then it cut back, and he had the natural again. So, kind of a weird moment there. You know, when you block the natural expansion, you force a Zerg to expand somewhere else, and there's great setups for Adepts to come in and harass or for Oracles to hit. You know, the creep's far apart. There's a lot of annoying things. It's very playable at the highest level, but it is kind of a control play opening. He's going to actually try to... Oh, what is going on? Okay, what is happening to SHIN?
SHIN's got plot armor, man.
What does SHIN have for breakfast?
I hope it wasn't Trix.
It was definitely not Trix. It was not... I cannot... He's like... He's winning these skirmishes that we literally don't even highlight because nothing ever happens at pro play.
Yeah, the skirmishes don't exist. Like, there are these instances where SHIN is finding damage, picking off probes or adepts or stalkers or command centers.
Yeah.
Where you basically never see these things happen. It's so unusual.
Yeah, no, it's like it'll happen in your ladder games, and when you like do it to your opponent, you're like, you're so bad. That's what you say. Or it happens to you, and you're like, I'm so bad. But the fact that we're seeing, I mean, of all people, by the way, herO is just kind of like, what is going on? What, dude? I don't even understand. How this is happening.
SHIN's now in the natural expansion. We're going to try and find a little bit more damage with these links. He's at least going to get a full scout. Sees the Stargate. Likely we'll see an Oracle get started.
Yeah, we haven't seen anything.
Another probe falls. And the natural. SHIN is just a child of destiny. This is
Did the universe just decide that SHIN was going to win today? And now angels are coming down and like kicking the table of herO, and he can't. I can't. I mean, I have never in a GSL Finals, let's say from the start of this first game to now, seen this many little interactions where a player has won. By the way, these you know, it can be death by 1,000 cuts. You have enough bad interactions like this. Oh my God, and the Overlord stays alive too. It's another perfect play. Okay, he's gonna get it anyways, but you know what I'm saying.
SHIN is just like seeing through the Matrix right now. It's like he's been living Groundhog's Day. He's been playing this GSL Finals day for years.
He's gonna finally play it perfectly.
He's finally figured it out. He's finally got everything
he's finally
solved.
had the perfect StarCraft 2 day, and now every interaction is going to be just right.
I mean, it just feels surreal how well things have been going for him, especially against herO here in map number 1 and map number 2. Because when I think of Protoss players who excel at the early game in PvZ, herO is the player who is first and foremost in my mind. I mean, he is so good at being able to find value where other players fail to find value. And SHIN has just turned that on its head in game 1 and game 2.
So, you know, he comes in here, does a little bit of damage. He's going to see the Baneling's Nest. Oh, he even kills that. I can't believe it.
Yeah, that was a good trade for herO up until the Oracle died.
Up until, now 8 more drones hatching. Creep being spread. It's an early third base for Protoss. These are always a little bit slow starts. They've been peppered with crazy moments here where we're actually seeing, you know, SHIN with these just crazy kills here and there. But, yeah, I mean, we see the Twilight Council come. I assume this is going to be Blink. Doesn't have to be. I don't think it's going to be a depth play.
He's going to try and find one more queen. herO should get it.
Yeah, great play by herO.
I mean, able to snipe 2 queens is quite substantial here in the early game, especially with SHIN trying to play a Ling-heavy style.
Oh my God, good save there, because he would have sniped that. Was that to take a 4th base at the bottom? This is one of those maps where you can just hug the bottom entirely. So the Queen's going to try to escort the drone down here.
Yeah, SHIN needs another hatchery soon.
Oh!
I think he's trying to play this very Ling-based style, and he's already lost a couple of queens, so the more larvae he can get, the better. I wouldn't even be surprised if we saw SHIN in just a minute or two take an additional base, not to saturate it, but to just continually have more larvae available. Because he's making a lot of Lings right now. 18 more getting started. Only 61 drones here for SHIN.
The Lings are going to be out on the loose here. Heading up to the top right. He's going to get a surround here on these Adepts. Now, this is good control. The Adepts, the Lings should have had a better surround. Oh my God, the second surround's here. What is happening?
Control. He is taking that 5th base, by the way, so it likely will continue to be a very Ling-heavy style from SHIN.
SHIN, tactically, is playing some of the best I've ever seen any Zerg play in my whole life. Everything is handled so perfectly. It's not common anymore in StarCraft 2 to see a Protoss that can't move around on the map. You know when you play somebody way better than you and you can't get out of your base? You're like, oh, I don't even know if I understand this game. That is kind of what it looks like for herO right now, where anytime he leaves, it's like, gone, goodbye, killed, counterattacked, everything. Small counterattacks, actually a big counterattack's gonna come in over here. This should trigger a recall.
Yeah, these are +1 Lings.
Yeah, and the thing is, if he triggers a recall, okay, he did not. He just triggered a warp in. The Stalkers are gonna walk back. I think herO's being pretty smart. The thing is, if you force recalls, that's like a resource that, you know, you have to then, like, I'm not using the right terms here. It resets the cooldown, right? And then they can't use that later on.
Oh no, herO blinked aggressively trying to take the trade. These are +1 Lings, bro. You cannot take that blink. So many Stalkers falling. That was a very expensive trade for herO, and SHIN's gonna try and get a cancel on this Nexus. Just not enough DPS to actually take it out. And behind it, a lot of Hydras underway. SHIN's going up to about 75 drones in total, and I think from there, you just pump the gas on Hydralisks and Lings, especially with a 5th hatchery already set up.
Okay, so Storm is coming along. Losing those Stalkers is pretty bad. Another nice snipe here by SHIN. He is continuing to just get these trades. He's going to come in here and hit this base. Stalkers have to come around again. He's going to go for the Nexus, and the Stalkers, I think they can save this. Let me see.
I think SHIN might.
No, he's got it. Dude, okay, herO at least gets a cancel. Late 4th base is brutal versus a 5-base Zerg. He's going up into Ling Hydra. This is crazy.
Oh, be careful with these oracles, herO. Oh! Hydras get one.
We are so close to having SHIN be up 2-0 and be halfway to winning this.
SHIN is just playing out of his mind so far today. He's now up to 82 drones. 5 drop overlords are morphing in. So SHIN likely going to be going for some really big split aggression. I would imagine they either attacks the 3rd or the 4th base, whichever one is more lightly defended on herO's side of the map. And then sections off a lot of units to drop into the main. As herO's trying to get aggressive, I think you got to blink and recall here. Otherwise, all of these stalkers are going to die. I mean, herO's going to try and stutter step back, but these lings, +1 melee, you will lose some stalkers on the retreat. Unless, I guess, you have perfect micro like herO does.
Yeah.
You got my face.
Well, he's going to do a drop in the main. Now, this is only Hydras. I feel like you don't ever see only Hydras dropped here. But this is going to be really difficult to deal with because he's going to be hit from 2 different angles. Nice hit on the Archon, by the way. That's massive. Pops that one Baneling with the Storm. Here we go. Big drop into the main.
This is where all the infrastructure is.
He's going to go for the Forge first thing, and that's going to go down. These gateways are not going to be. He's going to go for the Templar Archives next, by the way. Where is the army? Okay, so he's going to send this back. Can you pick this up? I was going to say, no, you can't do this against Stalkers. These are not medevacs. Meanwhile, he's hitting up here at the top left. Now, I think that herO has pocketed a recall, right? Oh, no. Did he recall that other stuff into the main?
He hasn't recalled yet, but I don't think he wants to recall into melee range of all these Banelings and things that are coming in. So herO instead just going to take the loss of all of these workers, some static defense, and honestly, it's a pretty good hold for herO, all things considered. He dealt with a drop in the main base very well. He was able to snipe down at least most of those overlords with the Stalkers. Some of them full of Hydras.
I don't know about the Hydra drop.
If it had Lings, I think it would have been much better.
Well, it's also weird because you could see the Stalkers came in there and he's like, I don't know what to do. And he like picked them up and then the Stalkers just shoot it down. But regardless, you know, he could drop into the main again. We do have a mothership on the way. It's about to pop out. We got 5 base Zerg here. Creep spread, not fantastic. Yeah, he still has 3 drop overlords.
We're going to be trying to hunt those down.
Yeah, he wants to try to basically intercept these. I mean, you know this is coming.
Yeah, and they're full of Lings right now. This is going to be a great pickoff for herO.
Wow. Okay, so that absolutely got destroyed. I mean, that was perfectly done.
herO finding some good damage. Now the Templar Archives nearly complete again. herO does have 600 gas banked.
The Lings are going to come over here and hit this.
He's going to make them into Archons. This tells me that herO's likely going to push very soon. The fact that he's not keeping those as Templar, I think that herO wants a little bit more meat in his army. Oh, I mean, I say that and he throws down 2 more Forges. Oh, I guess the Forges did get picked off in the main base, right? I believe herO has +2 ground weapons right now.
Yeah, he does have +2 ground weapons. So, oh my God, it can sort of fit through. Apparently, if you wiggle long enough, one can get through, and then you got to wait 3 seconds and another can get through. I mean, look, SHIN's maxed out. He's going for, you know, the next phase, which is going to be the Banelings. When you get into a game like this, it's going to be Hydra Bane. You're going to try to just obliterate them and see if you can flatten position. Both these sides have a hard time attacking each other. They're both very far away from each other. Again, without a good creep spread. Even for Protoss, it's a long part of the map to traverse. And it seems like herO wants to try to push. He does have a really healthy looking amount of supply.
herO also has a mothership somewhere on the map. It might be used defensively for recall here. herO could just snipe the base in the bottom right and then retreat to a safe position, maybe with some stasis wards and recall out.
Yeah, he's got the defensive recall here. He can only take out that battery and maybe a probe or 2. I don't know that you can take this fight. We have to see how the storms connect. Oh my God.
Baneling's getting huge connections. Most of those Zealots very low on HP now, but I'm not sure SHIN has very much more to reinforce with.
He's actually going to attack over here and force a recall. Dude, he's going to get the mothership. That's going to be no recall that way.
Yeah, got a recall with a Nexus now. It's a smaller AoE. This Nexus likely going to fall. So herO going to recall now to the 3rd base most likely.
Yep. Okay, so, you know, that's a trade. Ooh, man, got to watch out for those Psy Storms. He's going to back up. 20 probes were killed, by the way. The hatchery goes down.
Hatchery falls, but I feel like it's much more impactful for herO to lose a 4th base than for SHIN to lose, what was that, like his 5th?
This is fine. This is okay. Bane's gonna have a nice connection on a lot of those Zealots. Don't quite kill him off. Stalker's eating the Banelings as well. I think that this is a mistake for herO to push. I think he's in a really awkward spot and he needs to have some offense, but I think that he's going to end up just feeding into this here. SHIN is maxed out with Ling, Hydra, Bane.
There's a lot of Storm available here for herO. If he uses it to zone away the Hydras, it could be enough, but keep in mind, one Storm, it doesn't DPS Banelings fast enough.
Oh
Banelings
my God,
connect on the Templar.
I am so unsure about this for herO. This feels very unstable. The Hydras are going to hit over here at the third base. He's going to be able to, he doesn't actually kill that Archon, which is crazy to me. The Zealots are going to come back. Okay, he does get closure and kills the Archon.
hero's going to clean this up, but he is not in a good way right now. He's reset to 3 bases. In a moment, he will have a 4th expansion, but herO just lost the most vital part of his army, which is the Templar count. It was at a very healthy number before, and now it's dwindled all the way down to 2. There's 2 Templar, 3 Tempest, and a couple of Archons. Those are the real power units right now for herO. And SHIN is sitting on maybe not the best army, but he's got a lot of bases. He has 80 drones in total. I feel like SHIN is in a very favorable position.
The Zealots are going to come down here to the side. And I think the issue is going to be, like, you can counterattack all day, but I think when SHIN chooses the time, he can come and poke out your base very, very easily. And I just don't think that Protoss has the manpower. He actually is going to body block with Hydras here, which, again, that's a lot of Zealots to kill off a base. And we're talking about, you know, SHIN has so many bases that he can afford to drop 1 or 2, and he's already finished making his army, right? So he can now come across the map, and he can hit. This is not a game where I think Zerg has to attack in several times and re-max out. This seems to be a game where Protoss is barely hanging on for dear life.
It almost feels like herO at this stage just needs to try and hold on. You cannot be active on the map anymore. You need to try and defend because you are so outnumbered here as herO. Tempest's going to try and get some damage done at range. All right, SHIN collapsing in on both sides. Cloaking Field is going to pop, but we have Overseers for detection. Storm's doing a good job of zoning the Zerg away, but there's just too many Hydras here on the right side.
He's got so much. The Zealots on the left side are doing a crazy amount. There's another link counterattack here. 20 more probes are going to go down. And again, I just don't know that there's going to be enough to fight over here. I think it's miraculous that herO held this as well as he did on this side, but he is falling further and further behind because even though he keeps one base, he basically loses everything that was keeping that other base working.
Yeah, that was about the perfect fight for herO at his 4th expansion, but the fact that he loses 28 probes at the other bases means it wasn't really worthwhile. Now this base is completely empty of workers. herO's going to have to replenish that.
He doesn't have, like, the right number of workers in any of the bases with full minerals.
And so, like, he's no probes.
Yeah, he's got 32 probes, you know, to 78 drones. So he's going to transfuse down here and probably, you know, gear up to attacking again. I don't see what else there is to this game. Protoss is going to move across the map. Now, this is funny to me. It's going to be really hard for herO to fight in the open. I guess, you know, you don't have a lot of choices, right? Maybe try to take a fight and recall. And you know, one thing is when you're really low on bases, you don't have that much to defend, right? SHIN, once again, going to just send a small number of lings to try to counterattack here. Any few probes he can get is going to be worthwhile. Going to go for that Templar. Good defense here. Meanwhile, herO going to orbit around to the corner and try to poke out this base in the bottom right. This might work. I don't think that there's any way to trap this.
Yeah, especially with a Mothership.
Oh my God, he's got Corruptors.
Oh, Mothership's being taken out. It's zoned away. It can't even cast any of the useful spells right now on the Hydra. It's a Time Warp would be so good to pair up with Storm, but instead, the Corruptor is able to isolate the Mothership, take it out. And herO's gonna have to retreat out of his position, but it's tough. There's a lot of army for SHIN. It's actually heading towards the 4th base now of herO.
Yeah. Oh my God, he's gonna take this base out. I forgot, of course. I was like, where did the Corruptors go? Yeah, they're just gonna come up here and take this base out. I think we are in GG territory here for herO. I don't know.
You can't come back from this.
Yeah, I just don't see how he comes back. He's going to attack in here. And, I mean, there's just too much damage. I think even if you had perfect storms here, that whatever is going to be produced out of the hatcheries will clean this up. And we're seeing, you know, almost no shields left on these. The greatest storms ever, and it's still not going to be enough as these Lings just race through, surround the Archons, and that is going to be that. I think herO, I mean, he's still fighting. Man, I mean, how are you going to get anything done? This is a lot of drones, man. If you could target these drones, that'd be nice.
If he kills all those drones, SHIN might only be up by 10 or 20. It's a bad position here for herO. He's actually going to try and recall and defend with Archons this Nexus. He realizes it is futile. GG. SHIN is up 2-0 over herO.
That was crazy. So we saw the fist go in the air. SHIN is halfway there. This is, I feel like I'm in an alternate universe where SHIN is the greatest player in the world. They're like, this is a different timeline. This is the one where SHIN has won everything for the last 10 years, and he's the GOAT.
It certainly does feel that way.
He's the GOAT, but Artosis thinks it's another guy who's the GOAT, but you know what I'm saying. And you could see herO visibly miffed. herO who's kind of always glowing with charisma. You know what I mean? He always has kind of a peaceful, upbeat energy about him. And right now, it's actually, by the way, you know, from A to Z in that game, he's playing perfectly. Guys, we're going to go to a short break. When we come back, the finals of the GSL continues on.
Still fool. Don't tell me that you don't see. 'Cause if they pull, what we gon' do? Pushing. I gotta keep on pushing. I keep my hands up high. I'm looking to the sky. Ain't no more asking why. Get ready to fly. We're gonna rise up. Yeah, we're gonna rise up. Yeah, we're gonna rise up. We're gonna rise up, rise up, rise up. We're gonna rise up. Just watch me now. Hey. You can't hold me down. Just watch me now. Take the crown. You can't stop me now. You can't stop me now. No. You can't stop me now. You can't stop me. You can't stop me. You can't stop me now. You can't stop me now. No. Stop me now. No.
토스가 좀 한쪽에 몰려 있으니까
드림팀이라고 생각했습니다.
1경기 GG 짱만 1승 박한 소리 2킬을 하면서 김도우 선수가 큰 선수를 다 이기면서
점점 갈수록 이제 팀이 와야 되면서 저한테 범죄자라고 하더라고요.
모이면 바보가 되고 흩어지면 짱이 돼요.
2번 다 상금 못 받은 사람 도훈이랑 준호밖에 없어? 한소리? 키범이?
형 토스가 문제라니까?
토스는 다 각각 했어요.
김준호와 저는 세트다. 따면은 둘 다 따야 되고 못 따면 둘 다 못 따야 된다.
네.
사실 그 정도 시간 방송하면은 제가 정신이 반쯤 나가야 되는데 재밌게 해가지고 시간 가는 줄 몰랐던.
게이머들이랑 약간 디스코드 하면서 하는 게 되게 오랜만에 하는 느낌이라서 재밌게 했었던 것 같아요. 저희끼리 그 케미도 잘 맞고 경기도 좀 재밌었던 것 같아가지고
시청자분들 입장에서도 좀 이렇게 저희의 사적인 대화나 이런 걸 좀 같이 들을 수 있으니까
방송 센스가 너무 없네.
방송이고 나발이고 저는 이겨야겠고요.
시청자분들도 많이 좋아해줘가지고 저는 되게 좋다고 생각합니다.
저는 CK 같은 건 너무 환영했고 승패도 나쁘지 않아요. 2승 1패로 지금 돈도 많이 벌었고
저희 팀의 기운이 좋은 것 같아요. 그냥 저희 팀이 다 그냥 잘하는 사람이 잘 하더라고요.
방식을 좀 바꿨으면 좋겠어. 애교를 랜덤으로.
진짜 내가 해? 너가 해야지 그럼. 아니 이미 냈어 너로.
사다리로 하면은 납득하면서 나가기 가능한데 등 떠밀려서 나가는 경향이 있어서.
프로리그 때 약간 부담감 있잖아요. 그 부담감이 다 느껴져서 힘들었었거든요. 하는 건 너무 재밌었어요. 근데 결과가 3번 했는데 첫 번째 판은 이제 올킬도 하고 잘했는데 지고 두 번째도 이제 괜찮게 했는데 지고 막판은 이제 못하긴 했어요. 근데 못해도 버스 타는 선수가 있거든요. 저는 바로 팀이 그냥 지더라고요. 못하니까. 그리고 제가 도호 형이랑 지금 같이 상금이 빵원인데 그래도 계속 저는 1인분 해주는 것 같은데 이게 왜 자꾸 상금을 묻었지? 라는 생각이 조금 있긴 하네요.
1회 때는 에이스 결정까지 갔는데
야 이거 우리 손 많이 맞았어요. 아니요 그냥 이거는 김준호가 거의 다 잡았다고 봤는데 GG.
준호 형이 엄청 유리한 걸 져가지고
패배의 원흉은 제가 아닌 걸로 마지막에 밝혀졌고
3회 때는 이제 도호 형이 뭘 못했던 것 같아요.
일단 도호 형은 확실하고 아무튼 토스가 문제다. 근데 저는 탈출했다.
딱 시작하기 전에 전패 2명 중씩 나눠져 있으니까 범인이 나올 거라고. 다행히 신인범 선수가 이제 캐리하면서 상대편 쪽에 범인이 나왔는데
아마 개인전에서는 한 번도 못 이겼을 거예요. 그래가지고 이건 나의 탓도 좀 있다고 생각을 했는데 시즌 3 때 갑자기 그때 뭔가 집중력이 좀 좋았던 것 같아요. 그래서 잘 돼가지고 올킬 각인데 이거? 도우 형 같은 경우는 실제로 캐리도 많이 했고 이제 안타깝게 마지막에 가가지고 애결해서 진 경우가 좀 많잖아요. 근데 한솔이는 좀 노력을 하면 좋을 것 같아요.
제가 봤을 땐 둘 다 범인이고 도호 형은 자기 실력에 비해 너무 못했고 한솔이도 너무 못했던 것 같아요.
그래도 1회차부터 3회차까지 계속 2킬씩은 해주는 것 같은데 이제 상대편에 계속 각성을 하더라고요, 누가. 원래 보통 아군일 때는 약한데 적으로 가면 세잖아요. 약간 그런 게 좀 느껴졌어요. 우리 박하솔 선수 탓이 좀 큰 게 이게 팀원들이 다 같이 나가라고 뭔가 이유가 있어서 그런 거일 거 아니에요. 말을 꼭 안 듣고 자기 고집대로만 행동을 하더라고요.
아니 한솔이 못 이겨?
저거는
근데 말 하면 하는데 맵이
소리 가자.
그래서 오늘은 자신이 없네요. 나 예언자에 꺾였어.
그래서 같은 팀 안 된 게 좀 다행이긴 해요. 3주차까지.
아니 그때 어이없는 게 두 번째 차례 때 희범이 형을 잡으라고 내보내려고 했거든요. 저 아니면 도호 형이 맞다고 해가지고 다 졌는데 자기가 막바로 졌으면은 인정인데 자기만 이겼거든요.
안 들어가야겠다. 그거 욕먹겠다.
그래서 그런 거예요.
되게 실력을 떠나서 너무 자아가 세가지고 자꾸 감독을 하려고 해요.
아니 아까 나갔으면 우리 다 달라졌는데 지금 뭐 하는 거야?
아니야.
그냥 버스나 타라 하고 이제 뽑았는데 자꾸 감독을 하니까 이게 팀이 무너지면서 다음번에는 이제 마이크 안 들으면서 하면 좀 괜찮지 않을까 싶네요.
제가 범인하겠습니다. 안 돼요 이거. 제가 범인하겠습니다.
다음에 뭐 팀이 어떻게 될지 모르겠는데 0승 3패끼리 만나면 안 될 것 같고 근데 내가 되면 안 되긴 하는데 진짜 만나지 말자.
GSL S1 좋아요. 자주 안 본 선수 많이 나오니까요. 캐스팅이 더 좋아요. 돈 조금 더 줄어요.
GSL Season 1. GSL Season 1 Finals.
It gets crazier and crazier, guys. I mean, first of all, we've got SHIN in the finals. SHIN beat Maru. Now he's 2-0 against herO. I'm not saying SHIN's going to take it yet, but he's halfway there, State.
SHIN's just looking unbelievable right now. He took down Maru in the semifinals, a player that he has not defeated in 33 series. The 34th time was the charm. And we were talking heading into the grand finals about, well, you know, that was an exhausting series. Maru was trying to play for the ultra late game in a lot of those matches. how is SHIN going to be able to hold up? I mean, we started playing hours ago here at the GSL studio. Well, he looks stronger than ever. He's up now 2-0 versus the best player, the best Protoss player in the world. And he's trying to continue to build up that momentum with another map win and make it 3-0. I'm hoping for herO's sake that the few minutes break that we just had is going to give him some time to reset. Because herO, for the first time I think ever, looked a little bit flustered to me on camera, and that is not what you usually see from a player like herO. He's usually happy-go-lucky, rolls with the punches, but these have been some frustrating games for him.
Yeah, no, it's been tough. SHIN can just do this 2 more games. He will be, for the first time ever, a GSL champion.
GSL Season 1.
herO in the top right, needing to come back here, looking like one of the strongest Protosses on one of the greatest runs ever until now. So we'll see if he can recover here. He has to basically start in this game because he's up against SHIN. And SHIN, who has been a staple player of the GSL, who is always, I mean, I can't even remember the first time I casted SHIN. Obviously, he went by the ID Ragnarok back then. You know, he's been, see, he knows. We're all on the same page here. Go Ragnarok. So, you know, he was unable to win, was unable to go all the way where his peers had already. You know, SHIN was in a finals before and got smashed. It's about 4 years ago, losing to Maru. From Australia, welcome.
It's a long flight.
It's a long flight. Yeah, I mean, you know, he was one of the few players, well, not one of the few, one of the players that has not won a GSL, but he could do it right now. And what's crazy is, like, he just beat Maru. If he beats herO, it's like, okay, he got out first in his group prior to this. I mean, it's clear that he is in some kind of a remarkable growth spurt of skill. The question is, can he kind of pull it together? Can he deliver in just 2 more games? I mean, the beauty of the situation right now for SHIN is, besides just looking amazing in all of his games, right? Like, it's clearly not a fluke that he's winning these games. He's already halfway there, right? We have potentially 5 more games. He has to win 2 more of those to advance. That gives him a pretty wide margin right now. You know, when people think about best of 7s, best of 5s, you know, it is true that, yeah, you need, you know, what, let's say 3 wins to move on, or 4 wins if it's a best of 7. But a lot of times when someone wins that, they win because they kept a lead in that series. Reverse sweeps are rare. I mean, they do happen. They've happened in GSLs. Oh, pylon block. Super annoying.
No adept to pair with this, so we'll get canceled.
So what I'm saying to my point earlier is that if he can actually get a 3rd win, that's almost impossible for even herO to recover from. Like, you know, you don't want to rest on your laurels here. I don't think you need to get too experimental. But, man, if he can pull that out, it's going to be smooth sailing. I'm not saying he can't win if he doesn't win here, but, you know, if you're someone who's rooting for herO, that's the ideal situation here.
herO's got to get something started soon. We're running out of runway here for herO. And SHIN, as you said, he only needs to win 2 of the next 5 maps, so he can afford to get a little bit funky with it if he wants to. He can go for some really aggressive builds. He can start to gamble a little bit because it's herO who really has to survive the odds.
And we don't know what herO's going to do yet. I mean, getting an Oracle and an Adept early on, there's nothing revolutionary about this. This is basically you're kind of laying out the foundation to start to reveal what your build is, what your strategy is. SHIN is going to be ready for a counterattack here. You got to be careful. You know, some players, like herO, will be a little bit aggro, and that's when the double Adept Nexus at the 3rd can be punished if you have enough lings and if the Adepts are not in a good position.
For now, for herO, it's just 1 Adept at third base, and I think once Shin sees these two Oracles heading into his main, that's going to be the cue for Shin to try and get some damage done here at the third, and he's going for the cancel right away. There actually is a second Adept as well. More Adepts warping in. I think there isn't enough damage here for Shin to take it out with these Adepts, is there? He's going for it right now, Tasteless. It's got 200 HP left.
Yeah,
that's a cancel.
Okay, that's big. It looked like it was close, but he did go for the cancel. Oh, almost went for the baiting it out into the Spore.
That would have been sick.
Yeah, it's just like, you know what's crazy is like Shin is like so perfect with his inputs. Like even what he tried to do there that's harder than what most people ever try to do.
I don't know if I've ever actually seen a Stasis Ward get juked by a drone becoming a building before.
Yeah,
that would have been the first.
Yeah, yeah. Crazy. Now, in this game, the Queens are still going to be zoning out these Oracles. Can he get some more kills with this? He's going to throw down another Stasis. The Queens can just shut this down. He is going to get hit here. He needs to send one drone. Oh, he just leaves that one. Again, Shin playing like really perfectly.
His play has been so clean, really throughout most of the last like 5 or 6 games that he's played, including the series versus Maru. It feels like he just keeps getting stronger and stronger as the day continues on.
He cannot damage that Nexus down now. But, you know, slowing the third Nexus down is a pretty big deal.
Oh, it's huge. Templar Archives done now for herO, warping in. Quite a few Templar early. This is more than we usually see. It's a very fast Templar Archives, and I wonder if this is going to culminate. Oh, that's a huge Stasis Ward. Shin.
Yeah, he
really
does kill the Oracle, but that sucks.
Yeah, he thought he would take it down a little bit faster. Instead, it's quite a bit of economic damage being done. The delay here for Shin. I wonder if this is going to culminate into a big charge lot Archon push, because I mean, these Archons are so early. Shin, up until this point, has been playing very Ling-heavy styles.
Yeah.
And he does have a Roach Warren in this game, but still, the Larva's been mostly spent on Zerglings.
Yeah, this is going to be a charge lot Archon timing here. This is ideal versus someone who's just going to rely on Lings and kind of keep it low tech. And I think that Shin has to just give this base up. I don't think you can save this. Is he going to try to transfuse now? I think that this is... There's moments where you got to look at this and go, this is not going to work. And I think that herO teched into the exact right thing, came out, poked it out, and then got back out. Beautifully done. So, you know, the most normal way for Zerg to die is to lose the fourth base once and then basically be behind for the rest of the game. We'll see if it's going to be one of those games.
Yeah, herO already ticking up into Storm, having a macro on 3 bases. Shin trying to get a little bit of economic damage done, but good control by herO, not losing any probes. And right now the economies are even. herO's been doing a very good job of keeping Shin in check after herO's own third base was canceled. Whenever you have a PBZ and the word counts are even and the mining bases are even, it's a very good position for the Protoss. Zerg kind of needs to be a tempo ahead economically just because Protoss tends to be more cost efficient with their units. And so the fact that herO right now is at 143 supply to the 151 of Shin, he might get a cancel again on this fourth. I don't think you can save this. Roaches are coming in.
Nice trap there, getting the Zealots. They're going to counterattack. He actually does barely win that fight.
Is that enough Roaches? It feels like these armies are very closely matched. Okay, it's Storm that herO is waiting for. Oh, he's able to get on top of the Queens before they can get back on creep, and now the Storms can zone away the Roaches.
Okay, he's going to try to come up from underneath. I think that herO might just win this game.
Oh, another so many more Zealots.
You know, herO played into a perfect mid-game, kind of realizing what kind of game Shin wants to play. He's going to fight back, though.
Yeah, the Storms are dissipating a little bit. Charge Lot's not the best unit, especially now that Hydras are added in. The Roaches absorb the damage, and the Hydras are able to dish out so much DPS.
Well, Roaches are so tanky. He does have Immortals, which are good against Roaches, but I don't know. You know, it feels like Shin is like a little bit stunted in his growth on the game. He's kind of like not dying to this army, but he's not anywhere near as big as he needs to be on the map. herO is on a fourth base, too. Or starts a fourth base, I should say.
And herO expanding into the center. But I think the army composition of Shin is vastly superior to what herO has got right now. Storm isn't particularly effective unless you have a ton of it versus Roach Hydra, just because the Roaches, they can really absorb the brunt of the damage. then if you don't connect with enough storms onto the Hydralisk, suddenly the Roach Hydra is just able to take out absolutely everything else Protoss has got. You know, the Zealots are very ineffective, woefully ineffective. Archons also, because they're hitting range units, the splash damage doesn't quite contribute as much as it normally does. Say if you're going versus Ultralisks or Zerglings.
So the push is going to start. The Stasis Ward is laid in the back. The Storms are going to start to be laid out here to basically chip away at everything that SHIN has.
Hero's going to push in once more. Those Storms are pretty big. A lot of damage ticks onto these Roaches. They're deep in the red now. Even a Stasis Trap going to connect with them. But this is not SHIN's whole army. He's trying to set up a surround right now, coming in from the top of this ramp.
Yeah, there's enough Storms. You can really zone with this. He didn't get that much done, but again, you know, it's a 4-base Zerg. Can the counterattack possibly make this work? How many Storms are actually available here?
It's 2 or 3, I think. They're very few right now for herO, and he just used energy recharge as well.
So let's see if the counterpunch can do something. The attack itself from Protoss might have been a mistake.
Probes are getting pulled right now.
I mean, Archons are not that good in this situation. The probes are going to go down. And, you know, there's not a lot in front of the Archons. In fact, there's almost nothing in front of the Archons.
Storms are dissipating a large Zealot counterattack, taking out, 2 bases worth of workers, though. If herO can stabilize here on the front line, this counterattack might be enough.
I mean, this is a crazy moment because they're both kind of economically in shambles. He takes the base out. The Zealots are doing so much damage. They're kind of shredding up everything that's coming out to try to defend. Neither side has a massive army, but I think that basically herO's teched out a little bit better.
Yeah, this is definitely a favorable trade for herO. He takes out the 4th base of SHIN. herO's 4th, because he pulls the probes, is still alive. More workers have fallen on the Zerg side of things. You know, we missed the shot of I was so focused in on SHIN's attack on the front line, we completely missed the shot of the Zealots getting the run by on the 3rd and the 4th base. And herO's still finding damage. Even more drones now falling from that Vespene Geyser. 34 in total will go down, and that is how many that SHIN has left. So his work count has been halved. And the last 1 or 2 minutes, I think SHIN might have one more big push to try for, but this is basically it, Tasteless.
Yeah, he has to make this work. The problem is there's just enough Storms. There's so many Immortals here. That's going to be a GG. 5 Immortals, I mean, the Roaches aren't going to do anything, like, at all. And that was, by the way, a great setup by herO. You know, we could talk about that last part of that game, but that was really like just having the Archons coming out and just poking the base out. And from there, you know, SHIN is in free fall. It's one of the most basic ways that Zerg lose is they lose a 4th base, or it gets canceled or something. And you know, what SHIN's doing is he's staying, like you pointed out, State, on this kind of low tech, like I just got a lot of lings. My queens are kind of covering everything. I'm growing pretty steadily. And Archons beat that. And you don't normally see Archons that early ever, because if they just like made Roaches, like Roaches would kill that whole army. But he just comes out before the tech's here and he goes, boop, pokes the hatch out, and then runs back home. And the Zerg can't, you know, balloon out the way they would normally. We're going to go to Ruby Rock, State's favorite color of rock. So we're going to get into that on game number 4. Right now, herO's in a game of catch-up. He's won his first game. SHIN coming up the first 2 games with a win here. Can herO even this out, or is SHIN going to continue to hold this lead? GSL drums.
Sounds really good.
Really good, yeah. Ooh, all right.
That was awesome.
That was great. herO in the bottom right here, guys. We're going to do this every time. So that's how the Greencasters are doing it. We're getting the cheers in for herO, who did win that game. And I think, you know, that's herO navigating a best of 7 very cleanly. SHIN here. The underdog, one of the big underdogs of GSL, is in the finals. He has not been in a finals in about 4 years. The last time he was in a finals, he died to Maru in one of the most one-sided GSL finals in the history of the 15-plus-year-old show. This time, he's already beaten Maru today. That's old news. Now he's here to try to beat herO. He's in the lead. herO's trying to even this out, catch up 2-2.
It's a cute drawing.
And he's even got like the little graduation cap on.
Yeah.
He will have graduated from GSL school if he wins here tonight. By the way, so what I was saying earlier, yeah, SHIN kind of got, basically, herO was able to kind of look at what was going on and say, okay, I see how you're playing the mid game and it's very strong, but I'm going to come in here with a weird tech. I don't think herO can do that a bunch more times. I don't think we're going to see double Archon Zealot pushes randomly that end the game anymore. So, you know, each of these games, players kind of try to layer on different styles to react and respond to, you know, what is being solved from the game prior.
It was a very smart adjustment based on the way that SHIN played in map number 1 and map number 2. And I would be surprised if we didn't see at least a safety Roach Warren a little bit earlier for SHIN for the remainder of this series. Because you cannot risk losing a 4th base the same way that you did in that game number 3. After that moment, it was really a game of catch-up for SHIN. And herO was able to capitalize, convert the first victory of this series. Now looking to tie things up 2-2 here in map number 4. Similar opening for herO to the past couple of games. That coming out quite early here, as well as a Stargate. Likely for Oracle pressure again, although honestly the Oracles, they haven't been getting very much done over the course of this series. So we might have a shakeup with him going for a Void Ray, if not in this game and one subsequent game after this. It's honestly, in some of these matches, especially with SHIN going for kind of the constant aggression of Zerglings at the 3rd base of herO, I wouldn't mind herO just having a little bit more sustained damage that isn't energy-based, that can also mop up the Overlords on the map.
Yeah, I mean, the Void Rays, it sets up for a lot of different types of games you can have there. It is a real ambiguity maker because, yeah, you clear the Overlords, you're not going to die to, you know, little Ling counterattacks. You can't really engage with the other player as much. But it's not going to happen, at least not yet. It's going to be an Oracle tech here. And this Overlord is going to slip through the natural and head down.
I don't think the probes can actually see that, can they?
I think they cannot. Right?
It's just out of vision of the probes.
Let's check.
Well, the fact that herO's not pulling the Stalker just tells me that he must be blind to this.
No, he wants to trap that after his tech is scouted. So he's going to make the Nexus up here. And, you know, he's going to come into the main and see what the tech is going to be. Again, the tech is very standard for now, and we're probably going to see a Twilight Council here.
SHIN so far in this series, his defense of the Oracles has been near perfect. The only real hiccup of the defense I can remember was in the previous match where he was maybe one attack away from defusing a Stasis Ward that caught a ton of drones. Besides that, not a lot of workers have gone down. herO's going to see if he can change those odds into his favor, but once more, no damage found by these Oracles. Not even a single drone getting taken out.
Okay. Oracles pushed away. Forge, Twilight Council. Again, I think it's going to be Blink. It's going to be one of these games where we're going to see that tech up. We have the 4 Adepts coming up here, and he's going to try to pair this with the Oracles and see if he can get anything done. Got to be careful. Those Queens doing a lot of damage going right on top of those Oracles. The Adepts do actually complete over here to try to cover these Oracles.
It's a nice move to pick up the creep tumors.
Yeah, that was not bad. I mean, the Queens are here. They're going to repopulate it. And the Overlord is just now going to come through here, so he's going to see the Forge generally is a nod to, like, you know, later game. I'm going to try to get upgrades here. He's actually going to take some of this out.
They're getting started now for SHIN as he sets up to take a 4th base at the 12 o'clock position. Charge coming in first once more here for herO, as well as the Templar Archives. Okay, I wonder if we might be running it back with herO trying to find a timing attack at the 4th base. It's a pretty similar setup to what we saw.
I guess the truth is,
number 3.
I guess SHIN's kind of playing the same way, right?
No
he killed the Overlord and didn't tech into anything. So it's almost like this was scouted a little bit too early by SHIN.
Oh, 2 Adepts actually able to sneak their way into the natural expansion. We'll get at least a little bit of drone damage.
Okay, not bad. 5 drones is a lot.
Especially against SHIN, who tends to play a more defensive style. He's not very greedy. You'll notice that in most of these games, like right now he's only at 65 drones to the 65 probes of herO. He's playing low worker counts, and he's relying more on having a high Ling number and high Queen count to actually deflect any harassment. So he's keeping his drones alive even though he has fewer of them, and that's where he finds his edge. The fact that herO is able to sneak in, catch a couple more drone kills is pretty significant right now for our Protoss player.
Okay, for now, you know, it's a game with, we got 3 oracles up. Lings are kind of looking for any kind of counterattack they can get off. herO's playing a very, very quiet game. Quad oracles coming up here. Queens are going to get obliterated if they're not all swarmed up together.
Surprised those oracles actually didn't isolate that queen.
Yeah, cancels the hydras that we're going to hatch there. Doesn't want to reveal the tag. Also doesn't want to lose the hydras. They'll just get sniped immediately.
And herO, by the way, not going for the same Templar, Archon, I should say, timing attack with the charge zealots. Instead, just banking storms very early here. So likely, I'm imagining before the 4th base, we'll have a fleet beacon thrown down and a transition into Mothership. herO's been loving the really fast Mothership play.
He's going to go for a Phoenix.
Huh. That's curious.
That's interesting. Can he actually damage us down? He's going to try to come up. Now, he's going to lose the hatchery. Honestly, you could not have asked for a better engagement from the Protoss. He lost like 1 or 2 zealots to kill a hatchery and then just run away. That's pretty good.
That was perfectly executed. I wonder what this Phoenix is going to do. herO's been doing this a couple times with his PVZs. I think it might have been an RSL game that I casted from herO most recently, where he was adding in 1 Phoenix at kind of around the same timing. He might have actually made 2 in that game. So it's something that he's doing. I think it can't be a mistake. He seems so consistent about it.
Well, maybe he wants to scout with it. Yeah, maybe he wants to just look around the map. There's a point where you want the oracles for other stuff, and
I guess after a certain point, you know, the 150 minerals and 100 gas, it's just worth having the information, right?
Yeah.
It's not that expensive once you're pushing 4 bases.
You're not making hallucinated units. I don't know. Yeah, I assume it's just a scout.
That's a cool addition.
It makes sense, though. You know, sometimes this is like such a basic concept, but I think we're so used to thinking of Phoenixes as they have to pick stuff up and fight air units. That nice storm there on that. There's an attack up here at the 3rd, but he's going to have to back away there. Oh, going to target the Templars.
Shit is so good. Already able to snipe 2 Templar, make it 3. That's a lot less storms right now for herO. Keep in mind, most of the Templar that herO's got have been around for a very long time, so they banked a ton of energy. These are fresh Templar coming in right now. I don't think they have enough energy for a storm.
Is this an overextension here? He's going to come through, and it looks like he's getting split up. Oh my god, there's a big attack from the top, but they're eating so much damage from the storm.
It's about the best fight that herO could possibly hope for. I mean, like, SHIN has such high numbers, but
dude, that
what
was
an engagement by herO.
Big overextension here by SHIN. I think, you know, it looked like there was the possibility of doing a lot of damage until there wasn't. Especially when they just ate that storm from the top. And, you know, that was a lot of high-value units for the Zerg. Protoss has not actually really you know, lost anything of consequence, right? The oracles are still here. Templars, some of them were sniped, but you can remake those. Archons are still around. SHIN's going to ramp back up to being maxed out.
And SHIN hasn't retaken the 5th phase yet. He's still sitting on 4 hatcheries. We don't have a hive transition coming in. There are no additional evolution chambers coming in either. SHIN is committing a lot to this attack, and the oracles are really just pulling their weight. There isn't a high enough Hydralisk count to quickly deal with them. One of Oracle might fall, but the damage output of these oracles is huge, and now the storms connecting on roaches and hydras everywhere they go. SHIN, he's set up for a surround, but
dude, he has so much. He's gonna keep going. Is there actually enough to keep chasing this down?
The Templar, they're out of energy, have to turn into Archons now. Immortal reinforcing. I feel like herO just has enough with the Zealots reinforcing.
Dude, that was crazy. You know, I think that SHIN cannot lose a 5th base or a 4th base. He's basically just getting slowed down by herO, and then herO runs back and basically holds off the huge timing attack here. I think SHIN needs to change what he's doing. I don't know what that is exactly. I don't know if it's going to be some kind of weird offensive hatch, some kind of cheese. You can see herO kind of nodding, thinking, yeah, this is all kind of coming together. He's made the adjustments. He's recalibrated. He's caught back up. He's even now. This is effectively a best of 3. And SHIN, who had a monumental lead, right now, they're neck and neck.
That lead has been eroded. herO starting the comeback. Folks, we're going to take a break. When we come back, the GSL Finals will continue.
GSL Season 1. GSL Season 1 Finals.
I like our voice for that. It's like GSL Season 1 Finals. Ew.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. It is giving that vibe a little bit, isn't it?
StarCraft 2. Ew. No, I actually I love
the voice actor for the next season, man. That's perfect. It's on point.
Guys, welcome back, everybody. We are ready to go on with the finals. It's tied up 2-2. SHIN won the first two, herO won the next. And I don't know how this is going to pan out. I don't think anybody does. SHIN seemed to have approached this in such a way where, first of all, he was like winning these skirmishes that you never see in pro games. I mean, like catching lots of workers, killing adepts. It was kind of crazy. But what herO's done is he's readjusted to basically do these mid-game pokes that kind of destabilize the Zerg, and then the Zerg is kind of forced to try to like all in, counter all in, and he just sort of holds it. So we need to see if SHIN can secure the 4th and 5th hatch and continue to balloon out, or if he needs to cheese, something else like that. But right now, herO seems to be very much in control here. Let's go now into game number 5.
Season 1.
Okay, game number 5. herO here in the bottom right. Now tying the series up. And SHIN here to win his first GSL. You know, players like this, they get here so rarely, you don't know if they're ever going to get here again. And you know, I hope I'm wrong about that, by the way. I hope he's in several more finals. But, you know, it's so hard to get this deep with how fierce the competition in GSL is that when you see, you know, someone like SHIN get this far. And by the way, I mean, beating Maru is insane to get here. And you know that Maru's going to go back and improve. I mean, that's the beauty of, you know, Star Leagues like this one, is that everybody is improving, everybody's getting better, everybody's getting stronger and learning the game more. And so each season we see an improved iteration of each of the players. But that's hard to be on top of, right? When you got all these guys doing this full time. And SHIN was always in the background of a lot of these players. Even when he got to the finals before, I mean, it was so one-sided, in some ways tragic. The fact that he's here now and he's gotten here beating the player that managed to deny him that glory before is incredible. And we know that he can beat herO. herO has already bled twice in the series. The question is going to be, can he win those next 2 games out of the 3 possible ones we're going to have?
I feel like some adjustments might need to be made by SHIN. In particular, the last 2 games, looking back at them, the Roach Hydra compositions just haven't really been working, where he goes with the style where he's effectively headbutting into the Protoss and trying to sweep herO off of his feet. herO's done a very good job of parrying those pushes, those timing attacks with Roach Hydra in very different ways. Especially to the point that I feel like almost no matter what the setup is of herO, he will be able to deal with it if SHIN goes for it again here in game number 5. And so I'm hoping that we have a little bit of a mix-up in terms of long-term game planning for SHIN. I don't think he can rely on having the same incredible early game that he did in game 1 and game 2, although he's likely going to pick up at least 1 probe.
Yeah, you know, it's I guess no one's ever relying on just winning all these kind of insane engagements early on. But yeah, I think he can't kind of stay the course with the tech, right? He can't just stay Ling heavy and play defense and then die to, you know, whether it's like a Zealot Oracle poke. I mean, it was a 4 Oracle Zealot poke earlier, which is, you know, kind of novel, right? Or the double Archon push mid-game. Basically, he's getting hit right before he gets to the point where he's really getting big. He's really getting Zergy. By the way, Void Ray coming out here. So something that you were talking about, State, that we had never quite gotten to. we're finally going to see here in Game 5.
Yeah, I think it's a good adjustment from herO. The Oracles, they just haven't really been getting damage done. Even in game number 4, I feel like there wasn't too much damage done with the Oracles in the early game specifically. Of course, they absolutely pulled their weight as the game continued on. And actually, hold the phone, because we have a second Void Ray getting started. Now, one is brilliant. You're able to pick off a lot of Overlords. See, herO's already rallied. With the Adept, he identified where the vulnerable Overlords, God, that's a tongue twister. The vulnerable Overlords are. One is here in front of the third base. There's another one to the southwest of this, and then of course there is the Overlord on herO's side of the map. But the fact that he's adding in a second one is very peculiar. You almost never see it.
I think he wants to recall this one once it gets through here in scouts, maybe? I'm not sure. He has two. He is making an Oracle now.
Yeah, I think he's looking for this Overlord, perhaps imagining that Shin's already been trying to run away with it, but still sitting on the little pillar.
Twilight and Forge before third base. Is he going to do a two-base push?
Huh.
Maybe trying to hit a little bit earlier than even when he hit before. I can't believe he hasn't gotten this Overlord here. He's going to have the two Void Rays meet up. I'm really intrigued by what I'm seeing here.
Is this all leading up to him taking down one Vespian Geyser?
Okay, so let's think hard here. You take out the Vespian Geyser and you're going to force him to go on the Lings again for a while.
And maybe you pair that with +1 in charge, but I feel like taking
know.
down just one Vespian Geyser is not enough. It will be Blink, in fact, from herO, as he's now taking third base.
I do want to point out this will be the first time we've ever talked about a timing attack on a Geyser, ever.
I mean, I guess take what you can get, but it's just odd that you would go for the two Void Rays, and herO, ooh, bit of a mistake allowing that shade to finish.
Yeah, this just backfired badly by herO, because whatever he had planned didn't work.
And the Oracle fell as well, somewhere off screen. So
oh God, I didn't even notice that.
Not going herO's way, and the two Void Rays do not have the firepower to actually take down these Lings, I think. The force fields might be enough to minimize the surface area, but again, it's a cancel.
I think he messed up the force field. It didn't actually push the Lings off. Yeah, I think it was misplaced. So this is pretty bad for herO. herO's restarted the Nexus. The problem is losing the Adepts was like the real problem, because that led to the Nexus going down.
Yeah, the Adepts and the Oracle too.
Yeah. Kind of a role reversal here, where now herO's not quite able to set up what he wants to set up. You know, when you see really weird text like this, usually it's like the weird combination of units can kind of perfectly stop what is otherwise normal play. You know, anybody who's a little bit too autopiloted in the game. Okay, so that lives. Storm's halfway done. You can see, by the way, like Void Ray, it's kind of hard to do a whole lot with these things. They are pretty sluggish units when you try to steer them around.
Yeah, they're not particularly mobile in these early stages. herO has been able to find the Vespian Geyser, I think 2 Overlords in total, maybe even a third one. And he's kept the creep spread back a little bit, but I'm not sure that's exactly worth the investment. Had he been playing Oracles, I feel like the third base would likely be safe here. The second Oracle, or the second Void Ray really is the odd choice to me. Besides sniping the Vespian Geyser, I think you could have done everything that herO has accomplished with just one of these Void Rays, right?
Well, I mean, I almost wish we could like really ask him like what was going on with the extractor timing. I mean, it did seem like he kind of led that up into being this moment to hit the extractor. So what Shin's going to do is he's going to sandwich this from either side. Remember that the Protoss doesn't have anywhere near as much because the third base is so late because the weird attack elected here from herO. He's losing pretty badly here from the top, by the way. These Zealots basically soaked without the Stalkers doing damage to cover them. This is a lot harder than it looks to micro here for Shin.
Yeah, the static defense is going to fall through here, but I feel like it's mostly done its job. Shin's still just trying to make this Roach Hydra pressure work. Even though it's failed in the last previous games, she tries it again. But here with a nice defensive setup, really able to isolate the Hydralisks on both sides, take favorable trades, and now Shin is going to struggle to retreat out of this. I think herO just blinks on top and takes a couple more trades.
I think that Shin's been so aggro, but yes, Hydras actually can't run away. It's why creep spread is so important. when you get into these longer games, because you need to actually have like a runway where they can dive in and hit and then run back out. And, you know, I got to say, there are parts of this game that look so similar to what we already saw, where it's sort of like a very deterministic approach from SHIN, where he's like, I'm going to get a bunch of stuff. I'm going to try to just crush you. I'm going to try to hit you from a bunch of angles, and if it works, I'm going to win. And it just seems like herO's, nicely done, keeps both Void Rays alive. And if it works, he wins. But, you know, herO seems to be getting stronger and stronger here. So we're going to ramp up to a max out again. He's going to try to hit once more. But we're going up to 4 bases. It's going to be drop overlords again. Oh.
Some Stalkers getting caught right now. The 2 Void Rays were recalled back to the main base of herO. I think those will be really useful to have against these drop overlords. They will provide some utility as long as they're able to stay alive until that point. As SHIN is heavily committing to another attack. Keep in mind, SHIN has no upgrades whatsoever.
Is he going to send? This is empty overlords here. But he's not supposed to hit here first. This is kind of, well, he's not actually sending him in, so never mind.
I think that SHIN just sensed the opportunity here right now because half of herO's army is in the middle of the map. They're trying to regroup with everything right now as SHIN is working on this Nexus.
He's sending the overlords in, by the way. The Nexus is going to go down. I think that the rest, oh, hold on, is it going to go down? Yeah, he's going to kill it.
He's going to kill it, but it was an expensive trade for SHIN. I mean, herO just has the answer to these Roach Hydra timings. He's been able to deal with it in 3 different ways.
Oh, I thought this was a lot more damage. Just like 1 Roach attacking it. That's the second timing. Now, what's funny is he sent the drop overlords in, but they were empty, so he could have gotten damage there. I don't know. That was a very odd moment. First of all, I think faking overlord drops is really good, but he needs to send that in first. And I think you're right, State. I think he looked at this and went, oh, I think I've got an angle. But, you know, when you trade out for the Nexus and the army stays alive, this is where the counterplay comes in.
Yeah, Storm's now coming in. SHIN has to split these units away. The Storm's doing really good damage on the Hydralisks, forcing SHIN to retreat. GG's called. herO has won 3 maps in a row.
Okay, so I'm getting worried. I think that SHIN has kind of tried to just force this thing to work. And it worked a couple times, but the more times you do it, and this is what makes herO a good player, is he's adapting very neatly. He's adapting with a different style every time, so he's kind of keeping, look, you can see there's almost a sense of relief as the reverse sweep is happening. Look, I think this kind of I'm making roaches, and now I'm making hydras, and look at me, I'm above you, I'm below you, I'm to the left, to the right. You know, 360 degrees of Zerg attacking, and then storms are just kind of polluting the whole area. It doesn't seem to work anymore. I don't know if we need to see a totally different style. I don't know if he wants to try to hold off the eventual push style that herO's so known for. By the way, herO wins this basically not doing what he's known for. This whole game is herO reacting to what SHIN's doing. This is a reactive victory. This is not your classic PvZ here. SHIN can still win, but he has run out of wiggle room.
Yeah, and we're going to be going to Celestial Enclave for set number 6.
Yep.
The best defensive map in the pool if herO wants to try and play a defensive macro game. I think if you're going to go back to the drawing board on any map as SHIN, it has to be this one.
Yeah, the question is, what does he have in store? He managed to beat Maru. Can he do it here now with herO? If he does not, herO is the Season 1 champion. Okay, herO here in the bottom left. By the way, looking so much more relaxed. I guess he looks very determined now, but after that last game he won, you could see he was kind of all right, okay, I've got my finger on this one. SHIN here, certainly putting up a better fight than the finals he was in 4 years ago. Certainly overcoming, oh God. Okay, first drone block. And he did not start the other hatchery yet. Oh, I'm sorry, he did the interior. I thought he was going to send that other drone down there and do that.
Is SHIN going for the 3 hatch before pool block again? Because I can't remember if it was SHIN or somebody else who did this versus herO recently in the RSL, but herO went for 2 Zealots, 4 Adepts, a Stargate, and an Oracle.
It's triple hatch.
And just demolished this build. It was a destruction.
Yeah.
And I wonder if that was good enough that hero's going to go for the same response now. We don't have a second gateway thrown out just yet. It
By
will,
the way,
in fact, just be the Cybernetics core.
herO kind of shaking his head as he saw this. He knows this is going to be another control game. So far, you know, it's by the way, it's very kind of antithetical to what a lot of the way Zerg plays is like the Zerg kind of, you know, they're trying to get big and grow, and this is him going like it's a wrench in the gears of the machine. Yeah, I'm not sure if it was him or not in RSL. I'm casting too many tournaments right now. I think it might have been. I'm doing the caster triathlon here. I think it was him actually that did this. So let's see what he wants to do. So this forces 2 Zealots. This will finish, and then it spreads creep all over the place over here.
Yeah, I think that herO will likely expand to the pocket expansion with this one, but
yeah, the
we'll see.
interior base.
Maybe there is enough damage output from. Okay, no. I was gonna say maybe there's enough damage output from the Zealots that he'll just take this base once it is cleaned up. But herO instead prioritizing speed with that Nexus timing. Gonna throw it down in the pocket.
It was a cancel there. And yeah, you're right. That forces the Nexus somewhere else. I don't understand this build, honestly, that well. He's going to go over here and take the gas, which is also hilarious because there's only 1 gas over there.
It's a bit of a nuisance right now for herO, and I wouldn't be surprised if herO just quickly threw down a 3rd Nexus behind this. It's not the same response that we had in a previous tournament from herO with 2 Zealots and 4 Adepts.
You think
and a
a 3rd
before
Nexus?
expansion.
You think you can do that? I think
behind this Oracle, yeah, I would say you don't need a second gateway or anything. Just immediately throw down the 3rd Nexus.
Yeah, I guess you make a good point.
This is one of the best maps to do it too, because you know your natural is going to be on a high ground. You have a pocket expansion, which is totally safe.
Right.
I would love to see just an Oracle and then immediately a 3rd Nexus thrown down. Well, hero's getting quite a bit of damage done with just 1 gateway worth of units. There isn't a Adept about to finish up, so it's not the end of the world that this pylon's going to get sniped at hero's natural expansion. In fact, I think the damage that he is doing in SHIN's base is more than worth potentially losing this pylon. SHIN was not anticipating this much gateway production out of herO.
I think SHIN had no idea he could be contested like this. By the way, losing the Queen is a disaster. Yeah, I mean, the pylon only lost shields. It is annoying not having the extra gas because there's a very, very limited way you can play the game from here without having this second resource.
Oracle coming just in the nick of time to provide some assistance here. It's the trade a little bit more palatable right now.
Okay, well, he cleaned this up. Kills the Adept off.
After the dust settles, though, it's 33 probes, 26 drones. I know that SHIN is firing up 6 more right now in the production tab, but it's been an expensive defense for SHIN. herO is now setting up for the 3rd base. And behind all of this, herO is buttoned up very nicely. I don't think there's much pressure that SHIN can levy at herO for at least the next couple of minutes.
Yeah. Well, okay, so the gas is going to be retaken here, or at least the extractor will be killed. I shouldn't say retaken. The question I ask is, like, is there anything Protoss can do right now off of what he's got? Like, I mean, I guess Adepts are kind of an obvious answer, right? Because they're so mineral heavy. The Zerg's 3rd base is later. The whole rhythm of this game on both sides is, you know, moving very differently. It does feel like, you know, with the Adepts and the Oracles, it does feel like Zerg is a little bit fragile, right?
Yeah, it's one of the reasons why SHIN is just pumping. Zerglings right now, 18 more got started up. And even though herO isn't doing direct damage in this moment, what he is doing is delaying the droning of SHIN. And with that, herO's actually been able to take a 5-worker lead because SHIN right now, it's all hands on deck trying to defend. You see how many Lings he has. He doesn't know this is a Glaives push coming through. He doesn't know if there's more Adepts coming to reinforce. And he will get a surround on these Adepts, but I think most of them, if not all of them, should be able to shade away.
Okay, so I don't know. This is such a funny looking game. 4th base comes down. Melee is being upgraded, so if you got to be really careful with Stalkers and Adepts when you're on you know, the ground moving around here, because those Lynx rounds are going to be nasty. It is SHIN kind of leaning into that like low tech kind of map control style. But, you know, this was, all things considered, the third base got up pretty fast, despite this kind of slowed down play. I do feel like you're looking at basically 2 players on 3 bases, the way this panned out. And the Zerg's fourth base doesn't seem to be like that much faster. Do you know what I'm saying? It doesn't feel like things are developing like way quicker for Zerg because of the opening that SHIN did.
No, it's actually the opposite. It feels like herO has been a pace ahead in terms of economic development than SHIN.
Yeah, like I'm really learning a lot from watching how herO handled this, because these are all designed to slow the Protoss down and kind of make the build order uncomfortable, and you're not doing your main line openings.
And herO is once more pushing out with these adepts. This is, again, not with Glaives. SHIN doesn't know that, and so he's pumping so many Zerglings.
Yeah, this is a big fake.
And once more, the worker count is significantly higher for herO than SHIN at this stage in the game. SHIN is playing these very low tech army styles, which is fine, but the fact that he's doing it behind what is also a low drone count is highly concerning to me, because hero's already shown over the course of the series that he's happy to be the player to react to the opponent, to play defensively, even though that isn't normally hero's forte. He's been much more defensive over the course of this series, and he's leaning back into that style right now, and it's 61 probes to 54 drones.
Yeah, I mean, the economy is better for herO. It's undeniable. The Lynx come back around. They are going to try to deny this Nexus, which they can't do that either. So we're going to see 4 base Zerg. Okay, I'm going to say this right now. This game feels like it's leading up to the same problems that all the games that SHIN lost were. And I hope I'm wrong for SHIN's sake. But right now, this does feel like his economy's not big enough. That can only mean he can attack. He is droning, by the way, so he's not going to attack in right away. 65 workers to 67 as these drones hatch. Oh, kill him.
Oh, low on energy.
Yeah, not enough.
Yeah, the army composition that SHIN is building up towards doesn't seem very promising versus what herO has got. So we're going to have +2 ground weapons in charge. I'm not sure if there's a Templar Archives done. Oh, there is, of course. There's Templar Head on the map already. Do we have Storm, though? Because if there is Storm, it's a pure Zergling army for SHIN right now. He does not yet have Hydralisks onto the board. SHIN, by the way, is going for an attack at the wall of herO's natural, and herO just threw down a pylon, so he knows this is coming. That's going to force SHIN to disengage. And now herO is pushing right at the junction between all these bases, and storms are going to be huge here.
It feels like each of these armies is hitting separately, and herO's able to shut down each one perfectly. A Blinken is going to take the Queens out. The Banes are going to come in here to the side.
Oh, the Baneling connections are huge!
I don't know. I mean, Protoss still has a lot. You know, had that Bane connection not happened, I think that we would have seen the end of this game.
I absolutely agree with you.
Yeah,
SHIN needed those Banelings. If he didn't get them, this series is over. Instead, he gets a second life. I mean, it's a miracle for SHIN. Those Banelings were able to finish at just the right timing. Honestly, some of the
that was insane.
They're the most effective Banelings I think I've seen in years.
Well, this is why you've got to be careful when you blink, because once you blink, you are also committed. The blink feels really strong, but if you misuse it, you will throw a fight. And we actually saw a herO do that more than once. I think he had that in one of the earlier games against Cure as well, where he kind of blinked into a bad spot.
Yeah, herO is definitely the most ambitious blinker of all of them. But
by the way, this is 5 base Protoss, right? Yeah, 5 bases.
I mean, his economy is just huge. He's able to grow at a rate basically on par with SHIN. So here's going to establish this expansion down on the bottom right. It expanded linearly across the entire south side of the map. And he's actually going to spot, I think. Yeah, he spots the drop overlords warping in right now.
By the way, he's doing this every game. I like the addition of the drop overlords here, but I don't know how well this is going to fare. Nice storm. The Archon just one-shots him. Beautifully done. Is he going to try to drop the Hydras again?
There's going to be some kind of drop.
It is. It's going to be the Hydra drop again. It's like a Brood War game. I don't know.
It's only 2 Overlords full, too. And hero's already scattered it. There's 3 Stalkers right now waiting. 2 Photon Cannons, also the natural expansion. So herO certainly has expected something like this maneuver for a very long time. He's going to be well prepared. And SHIN is smartly going to wait until there's some more pressure elsewhere on the map before launching these Hydralisks into the natural expansion, not knowing that hero's already prepared. Shin's army is very glass cannon. There is not a lot of HP with this. Every single one of these units is going to get vaporized by storms. So you got to be so careful right now from Shin. I think for Shin to take a favorable engagement, he needs to get speed Banelings to connect with the Templar from multiple angles. It's the only way you're going to take a successful fight, and that might be what he's doing right now.
Okay, this is an insane angle. Can he make this work? The Lings are going to come down here. The Banes can connect down into where the Templars are. Oh my god. That was massive. That was a lot of the key units that need to be protected. That wasn't the Chaff. It wasn't the Zealots. It wasn't even some of the Stalkers. That was the Templars. And now Shin is going to tear open this position right in the heart, right where the infrastructure is. All the vital organs are right here. And now it's a maze. It's a gauntlet the Protoss army has to move through that he also has to defend at the same time. Hydra's above the expansion. Archon's being targeted.
Oh man, Shin is so close to breaking through and knocking HERO out of this game. HERO's going for a big counterattack though on Shin's side of the map. The drone's even getting pulled. Most of the gateways are now offline. Shin has been able to take out the production infrastructure here of HERO. 13 workers falling on each side. HERO will eventually clean up this attack in the main base. I think this game is going to stabilize.
Yeah, I think this game will not end. No one can kill each other. No one's going to die.
But what a moment for Shin. We're saying that he needs to come in from multiple angles there with the Banelings to have a chance against the army of HERO, and boy, did he do that perfectly. The army's reset for both players. The Templar count back down to 0. HERO has to start from scratch with AoE damage once more. Already warped in 5 more Templar. The game's going to continue on.
Yeah, I mean, this is kind of crazy. The supplies are very low. The armies are very small. I think there's more opportunities now for Shin, just because Protoss, well, hold on a second. Is he going to try to hit this base down here? I mean, this would be a great thing to just connect into. There you go. The Zealot's not looking so strong anymore. The Bane can come down here and try to hit that Templar. Okay, this is shut down ultimately. But yeah, I think Shin's going to try to come in again. Now, the problem is Protoss has a lot of bases, and they're even on bases, which is, like, from the Zerg's perspective, very bad. Zerg should be bigger. You get a game going on long enough, you can kind of let the Protoss catch up a little bit, but, like, this is... the only thing that I think Shin can do is take advantage of the fact that it's a long expansion setup from left to right on the bottom. So drops can be good, attacks in the middle with attacks on the far bottom right.
Yeah, it's a long expansion setup, and also there's a lot of openings now in HERO's base with the rocks destroyed in front of his natural expansion.
Yeah, there's a lot of points of entry. He's going to drop over here.
Hydras and Lings, I think there's enough static defenses to just cannot
Look at that,
work.
it just shuts it down. That's so funny.
I wouldn't even mind if HERO were to throw down more static defense in like the main base and the natural expansion. Just because Shin has been playing such a counterattack heavy style, if HERO can neutralize that, it'd go a long way. Oh man, HERO's everywhere right now. Shin has to separate his armies.
This is going to be Shin's moment. Shin has to either do insane counterattack damage and hold this off, or possibly lose. The surround is getting insane.
Oh, Shin coming in on 2 sides, decides just to sacrifice the expansion of the top left and focus his forces on cleaning up the army of HERO. But is it a worthy sacrifice? Because now that army is hitting another expansion. 17 drones in total have fallen. Preemptive storms anticipating the movements of those Banelings. And Shin economically now is in dire straits. 48 workers in total, -1 base.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's been a fascinating back and forth. But if you look at who's got bases, HERO is winning this. Even if this army's killed off, HERO could probably remake this in time. Look at this. He's already got kind of the right comp coming right back into the push.
The income for Shin is just broken.
Yeah.
He's in a spiral that he cannot find an easy way out of, because if he stops producing military, he dies to the attacks of HERO. But if he only produces military to defend, well, HERO's going to outscale him economically. It's a do-or-die situation, and there's no good options.
He's running a broken machine that can't print out the right results that he needs here. This is big. He takes out a Immortal. You know, Shin has to be aggressive right now, by the way. Like, State is 100% correct. You can't just be like, I'm going to defend now and make bases. It's like the game's in too much of a weird spot. The Banelings, he keeps getting these connections, by the way, that are godlike, but it doesn't matter. GG. HERO wins that 4-2. The reverse sweep has happened. He is your Season 1 GSL 2026 champion.
And what a victory by herO. Take a moment to celebrate. It was hard fought. 3-1 win over Cure. Then dropped the first 2 maps versus SHIN. And in the end, a reverse sweep, able to close it out with 4 straight wins. The best Protoss in the world has another title under his belt.
Yeah, I mean, that was a fantastic finals. By the way, I think SHIN can be happy with these results. I think he put up a much better fight. He looks to be a stronger player, but this is herO's moment right now. herO, the crowd going wild over this. The jump scare, confetti cannons. Even getting my heart up for a second there, and I've been here for a long time. We're getting the trophy kiss. He's so good at kissing these trophies. Oh, well, lips on there. All right, well.
herO, known germaphobe.
No germs, yep. A lot of hands touch that.
There's a break, and then he turned around its head. So how did you do that? What's the change of the mindset there? Well, it's not particularly the break, but I think I just stopped myself after game 2, and I just saw what his style is. I think he was very aggressive this time. So yeah, I think that was the turning point for me. So I need to be defensive. I need to be reactive. So I think that went well. Yeah, I mean, like, Protoss is in a dark phase right now. I mean, there's no major wins right now, but still, there's giving me herO is giving you hope, right? So how do you feel right now? Well, it's very good to hear that I'm giving a lot of Protoss players hope, and I'm really performing well. And you were pretending to be a romanticist, and but well, you have a lot of people who'll be grateful for. So anyone who in particular, your wife, your family? Well, first of all, thank you for Intel and SOOP for sponsoring this event, to actually compete in and making all this tournaments. And yeah, also a lot of people actually help with crowdfunding, and there are a lot of good things coming from that. So yeah, and a lot of fans who are rooting for us, and my family. Yeah, I love you all, and thank you. Now today, SHIN said he would congratulate you even if you lose. So I think SHIN did really good. So I think that would be made a lot of good potential, and become a great series. So any word for SHIN? Yeah, I was very glad that I would compete with former teammate CJ Yentas. Yeah, I mean, SHIN has been a really great player, and he performed really well. So next season, I'm really anticipating him to perform better as well. Now we're gonna Yes. Now we're going to have runner-up SHIN here. Yeah, I need to be in the middle, but they were having a really great moment, so I just go with it here. And SHIN showed a really bright performance and really great play. So yeah, we were all saying that you were on edge. So in like first 2 games, I think you're going to do it. So how did you feel about that? Well, yeah, I did really feel that today's the day, but it didn't really went well. So yeah, I'm really feeling bad about that. So what did you think went wrong? I think except for game 3, I thought I can win because I think I was too rushing myself. So I think I let go a lot of games that I could bring to myself. And but you still said that you will congratulate your teammate even if you lose, right? Yeah, of course. But still, I mean, yeah, I mean, I did a lot of preparations myself, but he also deserves to win because he also did really great preparations, and he did a really good, really well, and he was putting himself in a lot of himself, and so yeah, I think he deserves credit. And any words for fans and any grateful people? So any shoutouts? Well, I can't say anyone in particular because there are so many of them that I'm grateful for, and I'm really grateful for fans. And since EWC is gone, we were in a really rock and a hard place. But all the fans are actually supporting us, watching us play and compete. So I think that is why we're still competing here. So even though it's a bummer that I didn't win, but still we all have next season, and we have a half of a year yet. So yeah, I'm gonna do my best rest of the year. Yeah, it is inevitable that there's going to be a winner and loser, but there's a lot of gratitude, and it's all the same for people, that gratitude for the fans, and the will for compete is there. Yeah, now we're going to be the award show. Now let's present the awardee. Yeah,
okay, we're going to be doing
the
award.
We're going to interviews over. Now we're going to do the award show now.
It's award show time. This has just been a special season. Talk about some of the best games that we have ever had in GSL. You know, again, the quality of the play, the stories that are told here have just been phenomenal. And I got to say, this season was no exception. I mean, 2025 had an amazing set of incredible StarCraft 2 matches, and this season and this year have been even better. So we're going to give out the second place check and maybe some flowers. I don't know, runner-up.
Honestly, a very well-deserved win here for SHIN in second place.
You get a little box.
Oh, is that an
Sponsor
Intel
box?
processor?
Nice.
I would love one of those right now.
Yeah, well, there's some
I
on
very
this
much
desk.
need an
I think we
upgrade.
could steal them. They wouldn't know. Yeah.
Honestly, an excellent run for SHIN. I'm just so happy that he finally was able to take down Maru. And to do it with a live audience on such a big stage. This is a person who, 33 series versus Maru over the course of 13 years, maybe? And was never able to get the win. Finally was able to do it today. And we always knew he was capable. He always had the skill. He's always been one of the best Zerg players in the world. For SHIN to finally have that mental breakthrough and secure victory against the greatest Terran of all time, it's an achievement.
And now we're going to give the first place award here to herO. And I mean, my God, this guy played incredibly. I loved how he adjusted, by the way, to what he was up against here. I think SHIN came with a very strong approach, but it's why you have a best of 7 in a finals, right? Is you really want to let the games and strategies, flesh out and see where, people end up. And, herO, he went down and he bounced all the way back. And it was really impressive. So he's going to get a GSL pin and a giant cardboard championship thing. They used to make those look like checks, but nobody uses checks anymore.
Yeah.
There's a period where you go, can I just cash this big check at the bank? But now, now they did make it like a big, it's like PayPal money showing up. It's a notification like that. This is
it's
in your
like the
bank
pop-up on your phone.
Yeah, exactly. It says this has been deposited in your bank account. It's just a giant phone notification.
That's where we're headed.
Yeah.
Terrific season of the GSL. Honestly, one of the best offline finals of the GSL in recent memory.
This was a really special offline finals. I mean, all the games were great. We got that golden ratio again where we got one player of each race. We got to see SHIN beat Maru, which is insane. We don't have the static hierarchy where it's like this guy's always here, then it's this guy behind him, and then, the player after that. We had a crazy upset, so we're really seeing the whole dynamic of who's on top change, which has just been incredible. And then the games themselves, the strategies, the meta. I don't know, man. It's a good time to be a StarCraft fan.
Yeah, the players just keep getting better. The games keep getting better. It's a wonderful place to be right now in StarCraft, too. And, just a couple of days, I think GSL Season 2 is going to be starting up here in 2026. So you're not going to be missing too much action for long
We're going to be
either.
back here in like 3 days or 2 days or something.
This is one of the golden months for StarCraft 2 in history.
I mean, there's so much StarCraft going on. RSL is still happening on the weekends. ASL Finals is around the corner as well. So anyways, guys, for Season 1, thank you for watching us. We'll see you in just a few days for Season 2. Bye-bye.
GSL Season 1 Champion, herO.
I'm anxiously waiting, but I jump into the danger. My patience is fading, as these days are ever changing. Nobody's safe, I'm asking, give me a break. Don't want distractions. Maybe one day I'll find a way to say all that I got to say. Hear me now. I'm bleeding, believe me. Hear me now. Oh, are you listening? Listen. Hey. 날 향한 마음이 자꾸 커져가서 이런 내 마음이 또 나와 눈을 가만히 감은 채 날 반겨줘 I promise I'll give it all to you.
그래도 이제 진해어 때 팬분들 초대해가지고 숙소를 방문한 적이 있는데 되게 더러웠단 말이에요. 근데 이제 청소도 하고 그리고 팬분들 오셔가지고 같이 맛있는 것도 먹고 게임하는 것도 보고 그때가 제일 기억에 남았던 것 같아요.
제가 이제 방송을 초창기 했을 때 한 5명, 10명 이렇게밖에 안 봤어요. 근데 이제 그분들이 아직까지도 이제 봐주시는 분들이 있어요. 그래가지고 그분들은 항상 기억에 남고 항상 감사하게 생각하고 있습니다.
팬분이 저 이제 10주년이라고 케이크 모형으로 저랑 이렇게 뭐 우승했던 걸 이렇게 만들어주신 게 생각이 나고 GSL 결승에 갔을 때 응원 문구나 이런 거 슬로건 만들어주셨던 게 생각나가지고 항상 응원해주셨던 기억이 많이 남네요.
CJ 엔투스 때 다 같이 팬미팅을 했어요. 롤 팀이랑 저희 팀이랑 같이 했는데 그때 팬분들 앞 한 300~400명이셨나? 막 그랬는데 그때 준호 형이랑 저랑 그 죽일 놈 랩도 하고 막 그랬었거든요. 그런 게 아직도 좋은 추억이고 재밌던 기억이에요.
뭐 개인 방송 하는데 혼자 계속 별풍선 쏴주시는데 솔직히 제가 아직 방송도 미숙하고 재밌게 잘 못하는데 계속 힘을 주시려는 게 보여가지고 그분한테 좀 감사한 것 같아요. 좀
예전에 삼성 때부터 한 번씩 와주신 분들이 계신데 그분들이 정말 잊을만 하면 한 번씩 계속 오시거든요. 저 경기 보시러. 그래서 그분들이 그나마 제일 가장 기억에 남는 것 같고요. 그리고 이제 물론 한국 팬들도 정말 감사하지만 그리고 외국 팬들도 외국에 나갈 때마다 항상 열정적으로 응원을 많이 해주셔가지고 정말 모든 팬분들이 다 소중한 것 같습니다.
일단 개인적으로 중국 타워였던 걸로 기억하는데 대회가 그때 이제 대회 끝나고 호텔에서 쉬고 이제 잠깐 편의점을 가는 길인데 팬분들이 어떻게 아셨는지 대기하고 계시더라고요. 그래가지고 편의점 앞에서 이렇게 쫘라륵 줄을 서가지고 사인회를 했던 그게 굉장히 기억에 남는 것 같습니다.
2016년일 거예요. 경기 끝나고 10분이 계셨을 거예요. 다음날 아침 첫 차 뜨기 전까지 이제 밥도 같이 먹고 학교 가서 얘기도 많이 하고 제가 또 밥도 사 먹이고 약간 미니 팬미팅처럼 그때가 좀 기억에 많이 남아요.
지금까지도 저를 아직도 좋아해 주시고 응원해 주신 팬분 너무 감사드리고
Just thank you for supporting me and cheering me on.
다 감사한 분들이라 다 좋은 것 같습니다.
팬분들이 있어서 저희가 이렇게 계속 게임을 할 수 있는 거거든요.
그런 큰 대회가 없어도 동기부여가 떨어지지가 않더라고요. 그래가지고
스타2가 살아갈 수 있는 원동력이라고 생각하고
제가 그때 16년의 기억을 찾기 위해서라도
최고의 선수가 되도록 노력할 테니까
열심히 연습해서 또 GSL에서 좋은 모습
정말 아깝지 않은 그런 경기력 보여드릴 수 있도록
많이 찾아와 주셨으면 좋겠습니다.
GSL 오래 이어갔으면 좋겠습니다.
감사합니다.
감사드립니다.
So, thank you. 감사합니다.
화이팅!
Incoming transmission.